I'm Hilary, a mom in Oklahoma.
And I'm Hannah, a stay-at-home mom in Texas.
And this is episode 83 of the Don't You Two Read podcast. Hi guys, I'm back. It feels like I just left, or it feels both. Like I just left and it's been forever. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, no, it does not. It feels like it's been a long time. Yeah, so I'm so happy that you're back. And our special guest today is Baby.
Say hello.
Hi, Baby. Hi.
Are you talking? Yeah. Oh, and it quickly switches. We're gonna swaddle up this baby and then I'll be right back. Why don't you tell everyone about the what we need them to do?
If you guys could do us a huge favor, wherever you are listening to our episodes, please go follow us there. Apparently, that will help this podcast find other readers who want content like this. I had an email from Spotify and they basically said the amount of people who listen to you versus the amount of people who follow you is a big gap. So if you enjoy our podcast at all, we would really appreciate it. Like, follow, comment, interact, whatever it is. It will help our show get into the right hands. Otherwise, we will dive back into our episode.
Okay, so Hannah says I should give everyone a little update. So what happened was, everyone knows by now. I had my baby and the labor was very successful. Really no issues or complications at all, which is great. And so I was just taking the last month or so, just getting in our routine and swing of things. My husband, he went back to work last week. And so that has been another adjustment. I mean, for those of you that don't know, he has weird hours. He is a first responder. I think I've said that before. So his schedule's all over the place. So for tonight, I was like, you're going to be home, right? You're going to be home because I'm recording with Hannah again. And he's like, yeah, I will. He went in early today, stupid early. I think he was going to hit his hours at noon.
Oh no.
He is still not home. And for reference, it is past 8 p.m. Anyway, it's me and the baby. So my baby, she is 5 weeks old. She's honestly really good. She's sleeping 4-hour stretches, but she is not able to self-soothe herself yet.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, she's very little. She sleeps in our room for right now. She sometimes has fallen asleep again, but for the most part, she does need someone to come in there and pick her up, quiet her down, or pat her back or something. Anyway, all that to say, that's why if you hear little squeaks and cries, it's because my baby is here in the room with me and I have her little bed here whenever she gets drowsy. But anyway, that's why we have the baby here and you can hear little sounds probably in the middle. But the other update is that I am now a stay-at-home mom myself, or I'm about to be, because we have 2 kids now and daycare is stupid expensive. So
Yeah.
I will be staying home. That's not the only reason, but that's a big reason.
I'm like, welcome to the club.
Yeah, 1 kid, we were able to swing it a little better, but 2 kids, it's just she priced us out. So it is cheaper basically for me to stay home.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of you guys are also in the same boat. But honestly, I've done both. I've done full-time as a mom, part-time as a mom, and now just barely stay-at-home mom just for a month. But I mean, I'm sure this will ruffle feathers, but I feel like stay-at-home mom is the hardest for sure.
I haven't worked while being a mom, but when I did work and I worked 10-hour days, I feel like being a stay-at-home mom is a lot harder than that. That was a walk in the park.
Yeah, and my husband, his job is pretty difficult. And it's
Yeah.
funny, he's works easy.
That is crazy. That is the kicker.
He goes, work is easy compared to staying at home. He's like, that's hard. That's where I feel like I don't know if I'm getting it right or not. Hannah and I were laughing because we saw someone say that she worked in a jail and she was like, going to jail was my break. Staying at home was more difficult than working at a correction center. Yeah, so that's my life update, but the podcast will continue on. And yeah, that's about it.
So while because what am I trying to say? I'm like that boy that you had said.
Have you ever had a dream where you like,
So in the month of April, how would you say your reading was as a new mom?
Oh man. I thought I was reading really a lot like in March or more in March. But then right before, I think we did or you did say this. The week before I had her, I got the flu. And
Mhm.
so that kind of started that.
So in the month of April, the whole month of April, you were a new mom.
Yeah, because I had her on March 30th.
Yeah. Okay. So how many books did you read in April?
I read only 4.
That's still a lot.
Okay, and all of those were in the second half of April. I read
Mm.
none the first half, and
You're
then
just surviving.
for the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't very much. I felt like I read a lot. And then I looked, I was like, oh, that's it? 4? But it's because the first 2 weeks I didn't read anything. I looked and it was like from March 29th till April 12th, it was one book.
Were you reading a little bit here and there, or were
Yeah,
you?
it was that one book.
Oh, yeah, because I felt like you were reading.
Yeah. But I was breastfeeding and just trying to figure that out. So it was just like
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-mm.
chaos. The chaos nights, like those first couple weeks. Whew, like it is
Yeah.
just I can't even, which is funny because I didn't experience that with my firstborn, but because she went to NICU the first week. And so
Mm.
we didn't really get that true newborn experience, With this one, we were like, oh my God, it is the
Mm.
Wild West.
It hasn't been that long for me, but having Hillary talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forget about
It's like
those.
the people call it the trenches, and it's for a reason.
Well,
Like,
it's like you go to bed. I mean, you're like, why bother? Do
yeah,
I even go to
yes.
bed? Like, what counts as going to bed? Because you're gonna be up
That's how
and.
I started. That's how I started out. I was like, well, why am I going to go to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to get up in 45 minutes. And I quickly learned that's a mistake
You got to go to
because,
bed at like
yeah.
7 p.m. or like 6, like as soon as they go, you go.
Or even if it's 45 minutes, be like, yeah, that's a gift. I'm going to get the 45 minutes.
But
But
then sometimes you can't. Like you can't
yeah,
turn it off. At least for me.
no, yeah, it is hard. My husband, he can.
Yeah.
He's easily like he's just like,
Hmm.
okay, good night, out. And I'm like, after baby screaming, I'm like dripping wet sweat. Like
That's true. Well, you had a lot.
I'm
There's a
like,
reason.
and then like I just see like the dim little night light, and it's absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Absolute just madness the first 2 weeks. And then I know like there are a few times where like we're up and Taylor's like, okay, I'll change the diaper here. And then we look at the clock and he's like, it's only 12. I thought it was maybe 5 in the morning. Like we still have like 7 more hours. Like, oh no, it's just, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's tough.
She's staring at me. She's like, I'm good. I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, she is really good. Like, she has had a bad few nights lately, and that's because we figured out now because she's gassy.
Mm.
But for the most part, she's not like a fussy baby. She just goes to sleep. And anyway, but a lot of times I'm so tired whenever she goes to bed. The few nights that I'm feeling good, I'll read, and then I'm like, quickly, I just fall asleep. But anyway, the last 2 weeks, I have definitely felt like I've been getting back into my a rhythm of trying to figure out like reading a little bit more.
And then in a few weeks, you'll have another adjustment when school gets out.
I know, which usually I read more when school gets out, but I don't
Maybe
know.
you will. You'll just have to figure out what everything looks like.
That's what Taylor said because I said, how does Hannah stay at home and read so much? And then I'm staying at home and read less than ever.
You have a
And
newborn.
he's like, hey, you don't read that much yet. Stop it. He's like, you just had a baby. I'm like,
I'm not
okay.
being woken up like 5 times a night and having all the things going on. So,
Yeah, I'm currently sleeping like 3 hours at a most at a time. But in my overall night now, it's gotten better. So like overall at night, I'm sleeping like 6 hours. And so, but it's broken up. So we're getting there.
So my month of April was pretty much just me being sick the whole
Yeah.
month. But we've talked about being sick and like reading while being sick. I was
Hmm.
sick enough to be kind of miserable, but I wasn't sick enough to be like in a coma.
It depends on the type of sick, for real. It does.
But yeah, because like a lot of times Josh was he would encourage me like on the weekends. He'd be like, "Go rest," because a lot of it has been coughing. That has just been the cherry on top where I it gets really bad with coughing. And so he's like, "Stop talking, go lay down, just rest while I'm home." And so whenever I'm like laying down, there were times where I felt so congested, I can't breathe. So I felt like I couldn't even fall asleep. So I'm just like
Hmm.
laying there and I was able to read actually like normal, but yes, I was pretty just miserable for most of the month of April. Like I got 2 rounds of antibiotics, shots, steroids. It's just and then like whatever I have now, I feel strongly that it's going away by itself, which is good because I don't have time for anything else. So you read 4 books. I read 18. How many DNFs? Did you have any DNFs?
No,
Okay, I had 6,
that's a
which
lot.
I know it's a lot, but you know what? I can defend every single one. And
I feel I need to pull up what I read because I can talk about it. Because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I should have DNF'd stuff. There's several. I don't know. I just didn't because I think I was going so slow through them, and I was like, by the time I figured out, I don't think I like this. I'm like, well, it's too late. You're too far in. It took you 2 weeks to get here. I don't know. Okay, this I read right the day I finished the day before I had her, so that's technically in March. But this is one I was talking about. This one's The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I rated that
mm,
3 stars. I was not going to DNF that at all because of it's Abby and I have faith, but that was one that I was like, the whole time I kind of knew, like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was that type of book where you're like, you're interested, but it's not going to be a hit.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks to be, I don't know. That's when I don't know whether I should DNF or not.
Yeah.
So the one that took me 2 weeks was Finlay Donovan Crosses the Line, which is number 6 in that series. I rated that 4 stars. I did like it. I thought it was fine. It was not my favorite in that series at all, but it was okay. It was okay to like stop and go. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
that big a deal. But I still liked it. It just took me so long just because of the season of life. And then I read The Once and Future Queen by Paula Lafferty. That one was long. That one was like almost 600 pages, I think.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize it. I did like that one too. I did not realize at the time it's going to be a series.
No. Mm-mm.
And
Mistake.
so, yeah, and that one's about time traveling. Kind of, yeah, it's time traveling. You were talking about a portal. I don't think it's a, no, it
Mm.
might have been a portal. I'm not sure. I'm like, what is a portal? I don't know.
Well, is she
I don't
from
know if it was
that?
portal or magic.
Well, I feel like they're both magic.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, well, then what the other type of time travel is there? I guess the timeless series where they
Uh,
sleep.
well, no. If you're in the same universe, like if I woke up in the 50s, that would be time travel. If I woke up in what Harry Potter Hogwarts, then that would be Portal. Or well,
Oh,
you know what I
like a
mean?
fantasy world.
Yes. Or not your world.
Well, I would say this was both because she's in England, both, but she wakes up and, or not wakes up, she travels to like King Arthur. She finds out they're like, hey, you're actually such a weird premise. I don't know. They're like, hey, just so you know, she's 22. You're actually Queen Guinevere and you're married to King Arthur and we need you to come back. And she's like, I have no memory of this. And like, you need to come and save our people because our magic's in danger.
Does she
And so,
go
yeah, she goes.
willingly?
Yeah.
That's weird. Was her life really bad?
Yeah, well, like she just lives this like lonely existence and no one really remembers
Oh,
her. And she does have parents, but no one really remembers her. And she's like, I'm just like a nobody here. And she's like,
that's
what if I just stay? And he's like, well, your life will slowly fall apart over here because it was made with magic and you'll just be forgotten forever. And she's like, so I have to go.
mm,
So
wow,
anyway,
interesting.
and that was interesting. It wasn't like very plot heavy though. So I don't know. So that one was okay. And so that was one I think I kind of got stuck behind for a while too because it was long, but it wasn't very fast paced. So, and then the next one I read was Remarkably Bright Creatures
Oh, yeah.
by Shelby Van Pelt. This one's funny. This is the one I say to talk to you about. This one's about this elderly lady who works at an aquarium in the Pacific Northwest. And so I was reading it, and Taylor's like, "What is your book about?" And I told him that. I was like, "Well, it's this old lady who works at an aquarium." And he's like, "Oh, in the Pacific Northwest," which we both love that area. And he's like, "That's cool." And I was like, "Yeah." And there's this octopus. He goes, "Oh no, I don't like this at all." And so I and so I was like, no, no, no. I like
Gross.
guess he thought it was like some
Yeah.
type of romance with,
No way.
and I was like, first of all, I don't read books like
Yeah.
that. But second of all, again, I'm like, I don't read books like that. I don't know why he was even thinking that. I'm like, that's disgusting. I was like, no, it's not like that. He's like, yeah, that's what you say, but then later you never know. I'm like, no, it just for the record, no, it is not like that. Because I told him, your sister read this book. She told me she loved it. He goes, oh, well, I guess if she loved it, probably not. And
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. But you thought it was just fine.
it was okay. All of them. I have had a bad reading year, if you haven't told. My last one was an audio, the only audio. And that was the one you did too. Heal Your Hurting Mind
Oh,
by
yeah.
Groeschel. That was my only 5 star. That's might have been my only 5 star this year.
You know
Yeah.
what? I was talking to Susie, and she has not had a 5 star this year. So you
Yeah.
should go talk to her.
I don't know. I'm like, I mean, I was pregnant for most of the year and then I just had a baby. So I'm like, maybe that's me because I didn't have a lot at the end of the year either. I don't know. It's just been really bad. And I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. Absolutely. Like I've read popular books. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's bad. And I'm like, I feel like my mother.
Oh my gosh. You need a fast-paced book.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That or even like a novella. You know how Abby Jimenez has like those novellas?
Hmm.
Catherine Center has one. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Is it great? No, but it's fun.
In March, the end of March, I read another cozy mystery and I didn't rate it 5 stars, but I really like it. And honestly, that has been a standout for me. I don't know why. I think it's just sometimes in like, we've said this, I think seasons of stress, you kind of lean towards comfort
Yeah.
that you're like, I'm back in this town again and we're going to solve a mystery and everything's fine. I had texted you about this. I do plan to read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban next or soon because I'm like, I need a win. Oh, well, that was 5 stars, but that was a reread, so I don't count that.
Okay, so I had good ones, okay? I know I am notorious for just not liking everything, but I had a lot that I really liked in April. So, the Ravenwood Saga by Morgan L. Busse, I loved it. It was Christian romantasy. Like, was it perfect? No, but I loved it. And I honestly, when I started it, I saw it was Christian romantasy. So yes, okay, I judged it and I was like, okay, what's this gonna be? But I'll try it. And I was pleasantly surprised. I loved it enough that I binged them all. And the author has a lot of books like in her backlist, but also she still writes. And so, because this was like a little bit older of a series. So she has her current series that the third book, it's a trilogy, comes out in August. So this summer, I'm going to read that trilogy next. So I like her writing. I'm excited. And then another one that was a win was Love and Other Distractions by Tracy Baack. I loved it. I reread it. I read the alpha version when she first wrote it, which was months ago. From the first time I read Tracy's books as an alpha reader to me reading the final copy, there's a lot that not a lot, but she does add scenes and add things here and there that
Does it feel like a different book?
it doesn't feel like a different book, but it feels like a complete book. So whenever I alpha
Mhm.
read, I will, and she tells me to point out any like holes or questions or things like that. So when I do read the final copy of her books, So far, all of them, I truly feel like they are flawless because at that point, any questions that I had, I've already submitted them to her. And then she
Hmm.
honestly does really well at kind of filling in the holes.
How long is that? Like from alpha to that?
I alpha read her Love and Other Distractions in January. So January, and then it released in April.
Yeah, that is fast. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know that I could reread a book that fast
I
again.
don't reread them all. So when I do alpha or beta reads, I don't always read the final copy. Probably haven't done most of them.
Yeah, it's a whole project.
It's a project, but I loved the final copy. I thought it was really good. And then Heal Your Hurting Mind, the one you read, that was a 5 star for me. I loved it.
Did you do that on audio?
I had audio and ebook, but I did listen to all of it. Um,
Okay.
and I want to buy it because yeah, the questions for reflection or whatever, I thought that would be really good to go over those like in a study type of way.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought that too. Like there were some good points in there where he was like practically like, if you struggle with this, these are a few things you could do.
Yeah.
That with audio, there it's good, but then you're like, man, but like next month you're gonna be like, what did he say again?
Yeah, and then I loved it too because it had specific prayers because I think a lot of times it's overwhelming to be like
What do I say?
if someone's like, "Okay, pray. Give it to God." Or
Yeah.
like I think it can be very like it sounds simple, but it's very complicated. And so I like how in the book he has a few parts where he's like, if you struggle with XYZ, this type of negativity, like, here's an example prayer of how that looked like for him. And so I literally printed one of them out. I like that. It's a great book. I highly recommend it.
I really liked it too. Obviously, it's been my only 5 star, so
Those were the highs. Would you even be able to differentiate a low, or was it just all just meh?
I mean, they were all like 4 stars. So did you see Taylor? There's so many Taylors. Oh my gosh. You guys have a popular name. The Taylor on Bookstagram, she put a reel recently and she's like, sometimes I rate a 4 by
Yes.
like what did she say? I'm gonna say it all wrong now.
Derogatory. She
Yes.
said complimentary and derogatory.
Sometimes it's either one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like if a book that you were so excited about disappointed you, that feels very different than she worded it better than how I'm
But
saying
yeah, it's
it.
like 4 star. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like it's never a bad book, but it's like you know what I mean. Sometimes it means there's a letdown. Sometimes it means you really liked it. I don't know. Yeah, that's how I feel. Everything was fine. But that's how I felt this whole year so far. Like everything's been fine. I've liked them fine. But I say everything's 4 stars. I don't know. They're like remarkably bright creatures. I think I did that on like three something. Like it was just like one of those books where you're like, well, I can think it's well written. I think I can see why
Mhm.
people would like this. I have nothing really bad to say about it. It just wasn't like whenever you asked me, what did you think about it? I'm not thinking, well, I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything like bad. I don't count these as DNFs. I listened to quite a few audiobooks, just testing them out, like a chapter here or there, just trying to find an audiobook that, because I mean, I think we haven't done an episode about this, but we've mentioned I struggle with audiobooks a
Mhm.
lot. But
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get them because I think, well, I can read more, but I struggle with them. So I did have quite a few of those, but it takes a lot for an audiobook to really connect with me.
I feel like that too.
But I didn't want to say DNF because I'm not saying I won't try the book.
My DNFs, I think all of them, I'd have to go look, but I'm pretty sure all of them were in the same week because I was trying different things. I do book flight where
Hmm.
I'm reading like the first few chapters of books. I think all of them were in that week. And I counted them as a DNF because they were all for reasons that
Like you wouldn't go
I
back to them.
no. It wasn't even
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this was interesting. I want to come back." I was like, "Nah, bye. I'm done." That first week of April, that was also the height of my sickness. And I think I would venture to say that was also like my T minus 6 days until my period starts. So,
Yeah, the Abby Jimenez one was I read that with the flu
yeah.
and the Timeless book too.
Oh, but that I don't think that was you. That was just the book. I liked that book, but it was not.
I don't recommend having the flu and reading about the Black Plague, right? Was that what it was?
Yes. Ew, yes.
So yeah, no like major lows, but a lot of meh. So for me, that feels like a low, just for everything being like meh.
Okay, so in May, what are you looking forward to reading in May? You said Harry Potter.
Yes, I want to reread Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban, to the next one that we've done. And then let's see. I'm finishing a thriller right now, and I am liking that one. I am liking it. I really want to read The God of the Woods. Like it has been on my TBR for this will be the third summer in a row. Eventually I'll get to it. But then the other book I wanted to read, this was recommended to me by Faith on Bookstagram. And and I sent you a screenshot of this. It's The Empire of Shadows by Jacquelyn Benson
Mm-hmm.
and it's a Raiders of the Lost. Sorry, no, I was
That's
saying Lost Ark. It's
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones. Raiders of the Arcana. But it does have Indiana Jones vibes. It's
Mm-hmm.
not coincidental. But she recommended that one to me, and she recommended that was good on audio. So I did get that from the library, and I have started it, but I'm not far enough to like have an opinion. It's like only like a chapter in.
I downloaded that one when you told me that.
The audio or the ebook?
Okay, I downloaded both,
Hmm.
but whenever I started the audio, it's I believe if I remember correctly, it was like in an accent, which is fine, but
Yeah, yeah.
again, here we go. There's something wrong with our brains, maybe. If it has an accent, I have a really hard time. I have to like, a lot of times I choose to read it anyway with my eyeballs, but I feel like extra so because I would have to listen to it really slow in general to follow along. So I do want to read that book too. I want to probably, I will read it with my eyes.
They do have a British
Yeah.
accent.
Okay, so a book I'm excited about in May, Into a Golden Era by Gabrielle Meyer.
Yeah, I forgot about that book. That is also on my list. I'm right now 13th in line at the library.
Yeah, see, how long is that going to take?
It says 3 weeks. I think I'm gonna try this book, which I put a request in before it became popular yesteryear. Now I'm seeing it everywhere.
Yes.
I'm second in line, but there are 501 people waiting. So I don't know
Wow.
what happened there, but I usually have the opposite. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have grand hopes for May, so
That's the only book at all that I had that releases in May. I don't really have a lot of expectations other than that.
yeah, I'm like, when did we learn? When did I learn? Like I said this last year, right? I'm like, no, I should not have high expectations. And then every book, I'm like, I think this is going to be great. And I'm like, when will I learn? Even for myself, I don't know.
Okay, but see, that's what happened to me in April. I had two books that they were really big disappointments for me, and that's why they were so high up on my expectations. I was very, very eager and excited about two different series. Not only did I just not enjoy it, both of them I ended up rating 2 or 2.5 stars, which is hard for me. That's a doozy. When I hit below 3 is when I'm writing the review and I have not one, maybe one good thing to say that I'm like, "Oh, I liked her friend. Her friend was nice." But everything else I did not like, and that happened to me 2 times in a row. That was a low for me.
Well, usually my two-star is I didn't like it. Like if you ask me, I didn't like it. I'm like, which if I went by that standard this year, whew, I think I've decided that was too harsh. Speaking of ratings, I think that's what we're gonna do our episode on next week. Ratings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember I said the recipe of a 5 star.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Hannah's enjoying this. She's like she doesn't have to pick the topics again.
I know. I think it's surprising to people sometimes because
You're
I,
the planner, yeah.
yeah, I am the planner in life, but yeah, in books, I think I'm very much like the opposite of my typical personality. No schedule, no rules. I don't want to be told what
Yeah,
to
you read
choose.
many at a time.
Yeah, chaotic, very chaotic, because I feel like it's my one place to be free.
That's why I said I wanted to do, which I don't know, I feel like that would be a fail, but I said I wanted to do an episode of different Enneagram types and then how they read.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm a 4, you're a 1, Tracy's an 8. I know you had Brittany on, she's a 7, I think.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know how that works because, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I do not align with that type of personality in my books.
All right, I think that's it.
Yeah. The only thing I guess that I would note is that, yes, you mentioned that you were going to start Harry Potter 3, but I'm going to read it too.
I guess if anyone wants to read it with us, just let us know because we do have like a Fable thing, a book club.
We could do that. I told Hilary, I was like, well, we could always do one episode about it when we finish if we wanted to. Otherwise, we're still doing this basic format where we
Hmm.
will talk about what we're currently reading and like a topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all. Where can we find you at, Hilary?
You can find me at Hilary Reads,
And I'm at Hannah Reads.
and our podcast is at Don't You to Read Podcast. And as a reminder, please like and subscribe, or follow. I guess the right word is follow. Follow us on Spotify or on Apple, like the podcast app, wherever you listen to us. We really appreciate it, and that helps us find the right people.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.